Hi everybody, well yesterday we had the exciting news that DayZ update 1.22, the one that's bringing us all these extra bags, is coming next week. Well, next week at the time of recording this video, on Tuesday, August the 29th. So I've already put together all of my normal boosted loot and survival files for your servers, and my tutorials on how to use them as well. So in the description below this video you'll find links to the various videos and tutorials, and I'm going to kind of show you what they're all about in this little short video as well. So what you'll find is I've done my normal has your DayZ server been updated to 1.22. So especially if you're on console and you're new to owning a server, on update day often it can be a bit confusing about the state of your server, and the fact that when your server does get updated to 1.22, it's only the server DayZ.exe that's getting updated, not all the mission files, not all the things that control the loot and will have the new items in. So it's important you know how to do that, and I'll show you how to do that in that tutorial. For those people who have modded XML and JSON files for their servers, and you're wondering, well, how do I make them up to date? How do I include the new stuff for 1.22? I've got a tutorial how to do that as well. If you need the vanilla 1.22 files, and just like at the moment when they're not on the official Bohemia Interactive GitHub repository, I'll show you how to install DayZ Server Experimental, so you can download them, so you can use them to update your existing mission files if you want to. I've got my little tutorial and GitHub repository that has a new trader config for Dr. Jones. So on PC we have the Dr. Jones trader mod, really cool mod, but every time there's an update and they add more things, we need to put these things in. So I've got a config that includes the new items, and I've put some prices against them, and I also have a trader config that includes all the new items over the last few updates as well. So almost everything that's vanilla and tradable in DayZ will be in that config, so it's a good way of getting you up to date. But if you have a customized config file, these are the bits that you can just add in. As you'd expect, DayZ update 1.22, churnerous, boosted loot and more. Little tutorial how to install it and the files itself. These are server files, very easy, that work on PC and console, that give you more food, more drink, complete vehicles, loads of other things spawn in pristine. Mags guns have mags, and mostly suppressors and scopes. Really good. It's a great way of having a simple boosted loot server that works. I've been using these files for a long time, and people seem to like them, and generally the servers don't break when they have these files on them. Now I'm not saying there's no errors in any of these files that I provide, but if there are, obviously let me know, but they tend to be fairly solid, and especially if you're new to server modding, they're a great way to start. Not only have we got the churnerous one, I've got the Livonia one as well. Actually what you're seeing here is the trucks. When they spawn in full of building stuff, which is good, so you can go off and build a base. And there's the GitHub repository for that as well. And then finally I've got my DayZ Churnerous Hardcore Survival mod. Now what I've done is I've spent a lot more time with this particular set of files to make it harder. So this is if you're maybe got veteran players or experienced players who want a more difficult DayZ experience. You know, because when we first start playing DayZ, we find it difficult. We have that rush of surviving, and you kind of enjoy that. But as it goes on and you get better and better at the game, you don't really have that rush anymore. So maybe have it right at the beginning when you first spawn in and you're having that mad sort of half an hour trying to find everything you need to survive. But pretty much when you're sorted with a knife and a bag and a bottle, you're good to go, aren't you? You kind of you know what to do. The idea with these files is because you have less food, you have less weapons, you have less ammo, less drink, less of the things you need to survive. It just makes it more difficult to survive. Even things like car and truck batteries spawn flat, so you've got to be able to find a battery charger. But then the fuel cans spawn empty, so you need to take a fuel can to a petrol station to fill it up. Fewer fruit, less claymores, less whetstones, less sewing kits, less tents, less GPS, all this sort of stuff. Having the paper map instead of the normal map, so it's more difficult to find your way around. Oh, that's more bear events, all that sort of stuff. So if you're after a tougher DayZ churnerous experience on PC, console, PC or console, then definitely look at these files, DayZ 122 Chernus hardcore. And again, the links to all of these videos will be in the description below. And I'll say again, although I do check them and validate them, if there are any errors and things don't seem to be working, please let me know so that I can adjust them. So there we go, DayZ update 1.22 coming out next week on Tuesday, August 29th. It tends to happen throughout the day, and all those videos, although they're unlisted, you can click through and you can watch them now and get ahead of the game and get your servers and yourself ready for update 1.22. Okay, that's enough from me. If you found this useful, hit like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe, and of course I'll see you again soon.